Hello, this is Lisa Russick and Misty Lure with the podcast We Are All Psychic. And today we have Julia. And we're doing a podcast today. Since we had a guest. Julia, do you think we're all psychic?
Yes, absolutely. If you look at the definition of psychic, it says of the soul. Do you have a soul? Yes. Are you breathing? Yes. Then you're psychic. Yes.
I love it.
Is that the definition? Where is that definition? I mean, a lot of it was like the Webster Dictionary. Know what it says?
I hear it mostly from my teacher, Michael Tamura.
Really? Oh, that's really cool. I'm gonna find where. I'm gonna find where it is, and I'll put it in the description of the podcast if I remember.
Yeah, psychic of the soul.
Of the soul.
I like that. It's just one sentence says it all.
And soul has always been there. I don't know if psychic's always been, but soul has. So I think psychic has to have always been, a part of a humanity thing. And, wherever we come from. So have you always felt that way? Is that like natural for you? Like, were you raised that way? Was it always around you when you were growing up? Or?
Well, I think what's unique for me is I didn't wake up as a kid and go, I see a green aura here and a purple goblin over there. It was more like I knew I was intuitive. I knew that I was really sensitive. I'm like ridiculously sensitive. And I didn't realize what that was. And there wasn't any language. And I didn't know how to talk to people in the South growing up about
We're in
what was
Alabama.
going on. Yeah. I mean, it's just the church. You go to different churches and, and I walk into a church. I'm like, whoa, this is painful. This is just like, I mean, I love ceremony. I love
ritual,
ritual and all that, like the Christmas Eve, stuff like that. But I couldn't understand it. I was like, there's more here too. It's not to say that's right or wrong, but I was like, there's more, and I'm not finding validation or communication for it. Yeah. And I tried to shut out all that noise. I didn't realize till much later that I was actually picking up more on like a telepathy level, a lot of just like static noise coming in.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
And so I was trying to shut it out. I was a professional drummer and I was playing my drums really loud and playing in clubs and drinking a lot of beer. And like, now there's no noise.
Too. And I did that same thing, except I played guitar and sang.
Yeah. I heard you were you're audio person too, right?
Yeah.
I was a studio director for a couple of studios.
I ran live sound at churches.
I can't do that. I'm not good at that.
Well, I really wanted to go on the road, but nobody would hire me because I was a woman.
I ran into some of that. During that time, I ran into some of that as a female drummer too.
Yeah. Oh, I bet you did. I ran into it as a female performer everywhere I went. But, women were my favorite people to play music with. I'm sorry, we're going off topic, listeners and watchers, by the way. It might be a Spotify video. We'll find out. It'll be a secret.
Oh,
find out yourselves.
I played with a lot of women fronted bands too. It was just so comfortable. And I like when you can really kick it in, rock it out and crank up your third chakra and just,
Yes. And women, we collaborate so well musically. Men are kind of like dominant about when, their parts or whatever, who's writing and stuff that I've noticed. Not that they're bad or angry or we're, it's just, I like working with women in music better. It's just so easy to compromise and, but the girl band I was in actually broke up because we couldn't compromise in the end. But
we had such a creative spark for a while. This last group I was in called Valence, and it was a trio. And every time we got together, we were writing new songs. They were just flowing out, and a lot of things happening and stuff. But inevitably, it didn't work out. But had it worked out, I might not have finished my path here. To your original question, so back to that. I grew up really sensitive, intuitive, and I'm thinking about other things. And I would look at my ceiling at night and I'm like, I would see stars and galaxies. And I just know there's all this going on out there. And we're in this little tiny sphere here. But I started getting into spiritual work in the 90s. And I was reading all the self-help books at the time and shamanism or whatever I could get my hands on. Reading material because it was before the internet.
That's what I did too. Reading the Celestine Prophecy was like, wow. Yeah. That was the one that I was like, was one of my favorites at that time. That was just a big one for me.
And then I got into ageless wisdom practice, which was service for humanity. So you just sit at home and you meditate and you're connecting with other groups of world servers and doing service meditations, and I felt fulfilled for the first time ever.
I've never done that. Wow. Yeah.
But I still didn't know how to manage myself yet. I didn't know about chakras that much because all of that practice is just from the heart up and pretty much ignored the lower chakras. So I'm like, they must do something. I mean, God put them there, right? God don't make junk. So
we have a parallel. We have a parallel here going like throughout our what you're saying is a lot of parallels to what I have experienced.
I don't think we're going to be able to talk fast enough for this half hour, whatever it is.
No, we can do it. We do it ever. We sometimes it's 20 minutes. Sometimes it's been like, hour and a half. Never know.
Yeah. But from there, I remember getting a reading from a friend of mine. Her boyfriend was a drummer buddy of mine. And so I knew her. She's the psychic in town and she's really fun. And actually, you look kind of like her. And it looks like Lisa. I'm pointing at Lisa if we're listening. But I got a reading from her and she validated who I was on a soul level for the first time in my life. I was like, whoa, this is cool. Because before that, I thought psychic just meant telling your future, your future romance or work or whatever. And I'm really not interested in that. But when she told me who I was as a soul, I was like, oh, I always knew that, but there wasn't permission. And she said, hey, you should come take classes over here. And I'm like, meditation 1, I've been meditating for a while, and I finally did. And I was like, this is completely different than anything else I've experienced. It's putting the soul that I am in the driver's seat. So instead of like, there's a soul out there, I'm going to retrieve it. This is putting the soul in the driver's seat of the body, personality, ego part. And
could you say also like your higher self is in control, driving?
Yes.
If there's another way of putting it, your higher self is driving.
Yep.
You have really clear eyes. Doesn't she, Misty? Her eyes are like, they're clear. Your eyes are they're almost like when I first saw you, I don't know if you were like this, Misty, but when I first saw you, Julia, your eyes just seemed like they were like mirrors, but at the same time, they were portals. And they're like, I don't know. They're kind of like Misty's eyes when you see her in the sun, and that really clear blue.
Yeah, I can see it.
I think they might be green. I don't know. I can't tell.
No,
but
very cool. What's your read?
Well, I think usually when I see that, it's just someone who's very like at peace, you know, and they're all right with everything, and they're helping, and they're at peace, and they found it, and they can stay there. Usually.
Yes, I'm not seeking. I feel like, I'm on my path and I'm walking it. I'm doing it. And
I totally see that in her eyes. I do. Now I can't stop looking at your eyes.
I know, right? I love it. Oh, we know it has to be a video now. Everybody's gonna go crazy.
Well, just to enjoy my living room here in the background.
Oh yes, this is her palace.
Lovely.
I live in the Akashic Records. Yeah.
The Akashic Records. She's right up in there. There's no books. She read them all and shredded them. So you're off the hook, guys.
They're in crystals.
They're in the back. Yeah.
I got you. That's a good place to put them. Little Lemurian crystals, barcodes. Yeah, I think that's what we should do instead. It'll be like a Superman palace, I
always love those movies.
Yeah, I did too. Whenever he went there, that was the best part, So listeners and watchers, Julia helps, like one of the main things she does is help people who are already professional psychic workers. She helps everybody, I would assume, anyone who asks.
Yes.
But one of her specialties is being a psychic, basically. She helps psychics she's already brought out a whole bunch of personality and happiness in me. And I feel a lot better talking to you. And it's one of the things she's got a skill for. And they come to her, is what she'd said before the podcast. So can you tell the listeners about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Before getting to people that tend to come in, just to say a bit about frequency, if everything in the universe is frequency from this table
resonance,
to, you can look at the physical body as a certain frequency, like a slower moving, and then our emotions are a certain frequency, and then our mental space is a certain frequency going up, and spirit has all kinds of levels and stuff. If we're looking at everything's frequency, And you talked about laughter. The reason I'm giggling and being silly and stupid, part of it is to raise the frequency.
It does raise the vibe all the way, especially if you sing when you're doing something like you're trying to banish some bad energy. You just start singing.
Yeah, there you go.
Hallelujah.
Dancing.
Hallelujah. Shake your shades,
Absolutely.
It makes the atmosphere just come up, and any of that feeling of, being vulnerable goes away,
Exactly. You don't have to banish the spirit or whatever, the goblin. You raise your frequency.
Mm-hmm.
When you
doesn't bother you then.
Yeah, it's like when there's a deceased loved one, people go to a funeral, everybody's really sad. Obviously, you're going to be sad. That's natural. And they're going, I wish I could talk to the person. I wish I could talk to the person. And they're here vibrating at spirit, but sadness is a little slower vibration. If they can even move up to acceptance and move up, the closer they move, the closer they'll get to that loved one and be able to hear him more.
Right.
So for frequency, giggling, raising your frequency, it's general joy too, but also it's helping get closer to spirit and getting that direct truth communication download coming in.
There's nothing like a belly laugh, like just getting the tick giggles with someone. Anybody, let's just start giggling with someone for just something silly, and it just gets ridiculously silly, and you both can't stop, or three of you can't stop laughing, and then the belly laughs start, and then you start snotting and like can't breathe, and you're coughing, and you're just like dying, but it feels so good, and after
that makes so much sense.
You feel so
what
light.
She said.
Yes, it does.
I hear so many people, when their loved ones die, they're like, why can't I hear from them? Why can't I get messages? And some people can and some people can't. Well, that kind of explains that. I like that.
Yeah,
it does.
And that's not to say don't go through your grief. Go through whatever you need to go through. Take as long as you need to.
Yeah.
And as you're able to step out of the grief and bump up a little bit, and one way, gratitude is a good way to bump up your frequency.
Yes.
That'll bump you up. And they'll find that one day when they're just happy throwing the ball to a dog, and all of a sudden, now I hear my loved one.
Yeah. Because they don't want you to be sad anyway.
No, they're happy as can be over there.
Yeah.
I've not met it.
Right.
I mean, in all this,
my experience is if the person needs them to feel guilt or exhibit guilt or apologies for something, they'll always apologize if the person's still upset about something. The spirits will, but they're happy. They're never not at rest. But sometimes that part of them will exhibit as being still in pain because the person, the client, let's say, person receiving this message from the spirit needed them to be that way. Does that make sense? Does that happen to you ever?
Yeah.
They needed to hear that, like this person still had, their soul still carried the guilt, and it's not that the soul does, but the soul is working on it. It's kind of like what they tell me anyway. But they're happy about it. It's like fun to them at that point. I guess they're out of here. So they forgot.
Yeah, they're out of here. They're being the big me. And it was the little me that had all the desires and the emotional connections and trappings. That part is put to sleep, but the bigger me that's been throughout incarnations and has all that information is the one going, woohoo, I'm back in the stream.
Right. Misty, I know you have questions. Isn't she fascinating?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't answer this.
Listening. Yeah.
Oh, she had a question. I did ask a question, didn't I? Yeah.
Well, it was the second part of your question of who I tend to work with.
Yes.
A lot of sensitive people like myself. So empaths, highly sensitive people, intuitives, spiritual seekers of all sorts. You might have seen my Reels pro tips for spiritual seekers. So those kind of people would come in. And so take it like an empath, for example. You're picking up information around you. It's mechanical. It's technical. It's not a personal issue. It's not, I want to take on your pain. That's not usually what's going on. It's a matching frequency.
Yes.
So, and it has to do with clairsentience, which is second chakra below the belly button. That's the function. The function on a spirit level of that chakra is to feel energy. And one of the main things it feels is emotions. It's not the only thing. So it can give you a lot of data, information about your environment through feeling, but you don't want to stay there. That's just the first superpower, to wake up.
Mm.
So I work with those group of people. That's where people start going. And usually it's like overload. It's like, I can't go to parties anymore. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do that.
I was like that when I was younger. And
I was really surprised to see the books out there they're more based for the little me. And it's really more of a big me consideration.
It is. You're right.
I'm going to write a book. I said it here. Boom.
She's going to do it.
You heard it here first. Julia Harrell. Okay.
Harrell.
Julia Harrell, author. Right now, Mal.
Actually, I wrote I'm a contributing author in a book that's coming out.
Oh, you are? What is it? What's it called?
I'm going to have to read it. It's a long title. Harmony and Chakras, Volume 3, Raising Happy and Healthy Children for Entrepreneurs Working at Home.
And, tell me about that.
Principal author is Olivia Whiteman. This is the third book in a series, and she puts together other specialists. As far as I understand, I haven't met the other people in this, but there's like me as a clairvoyant teacher. I think there's another psychic that does psychic readings, and then there's like a feng shui expert and maybe a therapist or something. Oh. And so for children, and it's like chakras and children, so your natural abilities, superpowers. And so I talked about a story of a 9-year-old boy who was bowling with the family at Christmas time, having a great time, and all of a sudden had an emotional meltdown about his dead horse, which died 2 years ago. Mm. So wait a minute, something's off, right?
Oh.
Yeah. And so I talk about what was actually going on, and it had to do with a visiting aunt who was in grief, and he matched her grief.
Okay, yeah. And he didn't know why, did he? Did he know?
No.
And he probably felt embarrassed and.
No, he's just going, he just had grief, and it was a big grief, but it was a grief that he really hadn't experienced so much.
He hadn't expressed it yet. He hadn't, I thought I was feeling like he already went through it, and it just reminded him of it. So he actually, it kind of caused him to deal with it.
Well, this is interesting.
That one time. That's why I was asking about that. Yeah. She was crying, but she was young, very young, like 2 or 3. And she was crying over an animal.
Daughter?
Yeah, my daughter was crying over a dog that she really didn't even know. You know what I mean? And it didn't make any sense.
So, was your husband going through a grief at that time?
No.
She reads to have a connection there, but in this story, I was just going to say with psychic kids, with kids, there's all these kids coming in that have more intuitive
parents are letting them
faculties more online.
Yeah.
And so we have to give space to that and acknowledge and stuff. But if a child is matching an adult, or, they're supposed to be corded as a child, especially the small, younger ones, there's supposed to be an energetic cord there, especially a mom nursing and stuff. You want to, need food. Okay. Need a poop. Okay.
Yeah.
Especially if they have a cord, is that if the parent's going through something really intense and the child matches it, but it's a complex emotion that they don't really know. Like for this child in the story, the 9-year-old boy, he was matching his aunt's grief, and she had just lost her husband. He's a kid. He doesn't know the loss of a lifetime partner yet. That's a really complex emotion.
Right.
So then he just was like, well, the nearest grief I know is my horse. I must be sad about my horse because that's the only grief experience he's had.
Oh my gosh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
Huh. I have never thought of it like that. But I'm so glad that you brought that up because, like I said, my daughter did something similar to that. And we were all just like, you're tired, need a nap. Why aren't you crying over something like this, But yeah, she was probably connecting to something that maybe her dad was feeling at the time or something.
Yeah, she looks like there's a bond that way with dad. They're like, there's more karma with dad. You know, so this natural, like they just look at each other and a whole sentence took place of communication.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can totally see that.
That's so cool.
She's definitely daddy's girl.
Oh, well, I think that she's got daddy wrapped around her little finger.
Oh, just a tiny bit.
And mom, maybe.
A little bit.
And mom, maybe
there's like a
bit.
mini-me.
She's so cute, Bella. I mean, she's got me wrapped around all her fingers.
Yeah.
She's a little love bug, isn't she?
Oh,
she's a wonderful little thing.
Actually, we call her Bella Bug.
Bella Bug.
Her name is Isabella, but we call her Bella Bug when she was little.
She reads like a soul who would probably be like a love beauty soul. Like she might like a really nice, beautiful, pretty dress and
she like does. Drawing. She loves clothes and stuff.
And love like snuggle all the time, and everything comes from love.
Affectionate,
So relationships will be important to her, and also where she learns her lessons.
Yes, I see that too. Yeah.
She looks very creative too.
Very.
Yeah, she is. She's very creative. Yeah.
She's my baby.
I'm stealing her.
Yeah, she's got some of those extra strands open, you know, coming in. She doesn't read like she's here to teach and lead the way on anything, but more to just like be in this creative bubble that's inspiring to others to be their creative, authentic self. It's like she's got nothing to prove. It's just like, here you go. Here's all this creativity.
Yes.
That's really cool.
I totally agree.
If she would see that, you know, maybe she'll listen to this podcast and she will hear that. It'll mean a lot to her.
Yeah.
I bet it would.
Yeah, especially at this age.
Yeah. Hey, we love you if you're listening, Bella.
Yes, we do.
Julie, where can people find out about you? Get your services? I mean, where do you have a website? I mean, tell them about where you are. And I'll put it in the description of the podcast, listeners.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah, I'm at juliaharrell.com. So HARRELL is my website. There's a free class if you're sensitive or psychic or you want to try out this style. By the way, I don't make this up. I'm passing it down from my teacher, master teacher, and his teacher, another master teacher. So the website, juliaharrell.com. I'm on the socials. Facebook is Julia Harrell /clairvoyant, and Instagram, Julia Harrell Spiritual Guide. And I've got, let's check out the reels on there because I have little mini teaching vignettes in there. Comment to me, write me back, give me, ask questions. Love to communicate with you. I've got a free consult on my website. I have online training. Online training available. One class for sensitives called Powerful Resets for Sensitive People. It's a 6-part video training. Then I also have Clairvoyant Basics is on there. It's a 4-part class, and that's a rocket ride. It starts really quick, and you get into working with your primary spirit guide, cleaning your chakras, doing mock-ups, manifestations, really cleaning out, tuning up, and learning to access your upper chakras, 6 and 7.
It's been very interesting in this podcast. I'm able to connect to your energy, and it's just my vibration is like feeling higher. Okay, I'm getting Reiki rumble. Are you getting Reiki rumble too, Misty?
Yes,
you're giving us both Reiki rumble, if you know what that is. When you get,
are you both
tummy, or we're both getting like the tummy rumbles for like the Reiki rumble? You know,
are you both Reiki teachers?
I've taken Reiki 1 and 2, and she's received Reiki a lot. So
I've read a lot about it.
Yeah, and we've done a lot of talks about Reiki on the podcast. You know, a lot of people who've been on the podcast have practiced Reiki at some point.
Nice.
You know?
Yes.
But if you just have this. I feel so like nothing hurts in my body, and I feel like really light. Your energy is amazing, and the background does not hurt.
No, it does not.
And listeners and watchers, I want to say thank you to our sponsor, Everclear, who we love. We love Everclear. Everclear.com it's an advice app where you can get advice from psychics and empaths, so you can get the clarity you need to create the life you deserve. And I'm an advisor on there under the name Lisa P. ESAP.
I want to offer a coupon for listeners. If you can spell psychic, you get a discount on a reading on my site.
I'm not going to put this word psychic anywhere except on the podcast cover. And that's it.
Just use the coupon psychic, all caps, if you book a reading, and you'll get $25 off.
That's great. I'll put that in the description too, listeners. And you can, so you don't have to remember it, because I hate that when the code's like, it's off 25. Was it 25 off reading? Was it off? I can get that all. So I'll make it. You can copy and paste it. We'll do it that way. And lastly, do you have any advice for psychics who are looking for that psychic who talks to them, who listens to them, and they need their healing from? I need that. Like, I'd love to have a mentor, like not really a mentor, but someone like a therapist for me who's a psychic. Basically, is what I feel like would help me a lot, get me through things that I haven't before when they come up that maybe they are more experienced in and stuff like that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Two things for that. One general note at the end, but I work with a lot of other healers, and I'm using the word healer, like people who love to help others.
Energy workers,
magnet for people with problems, right? They just show up on your doorstep. Then you just might be a healer.
And you happen to notice everything wonderful in their potential.
Yeah.
And in their deep down who they are, you know it. And you think it's wonderful. Every single one of them.
So what I like to do is help other healers stay tuned up by managing yourself. So one of the things you're probably picking up on is I set my energy before coming on the call. And anytime I teach, I set up the classroom psychic space in a certain way so that people can step up into it. But I love helping other teachers and healers, helpers, could be therapists or nurses or all kinds of energy healers, to stay tuned up so you don't get sidetracked, washed away by the energies you're accidentally picking up. That's just the first ability to wake up. So I really love helping other healers. And I do have my advanced classes for healers. You have to have the clairvoyant basics with me, which is a certain language and skill set. It's just 4 classes. You have to have that certain language and practice first. And in that class, we do sometimes readings, healings, with people in the class, sometimes outside people, but we do a lot of self-management and care, how to set up your space that you're doing your work in, whether you're a teacher, a healer, or a manager, or however you work with other people, so you can set the space of the room in the way that you want, and you can manage your space, clear out at the end of each session. And all the while, you're learning to open up your superpowers. And I think a final note, what I would want to leave people with is don't give away your crown, brothers and sisters. What I mean by that is your crown chakra, 7th chakra, is where you get the direct downloads, right? You listen to a teacher, you can follow a teacher or a guide or a channeler or something, but don't give away your crown to them. Have your own information, your own certainty, take in what you can use, let go of anything else, so you can get your own direct downloads.
I love that.
I've been very connected to your energy throughout this. Misty, you said you felt that way too. At one point, we were both just looking at you. I looked at her and we're both just loving it.
When can I come back?
I do this thing that I do with some of my clients at the end of a reading. I'll pull, I'm not doing it. I'm just airing out this area is what I call it. I don't know what it is, but it feels like I'm airing out like a cone that comes up like this and out, the crown, it just comes all out. And it feels like you do that naturally to people. You just do. I don't know if you do it on purpose or if it's just your energy.
I'm personally
you have this energy that clears out my negativity. It's just amazing.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you.
It's great.
I think we can all hold the frequency that, just like if you walk in a room and somebody's having a hard day and they want to fight with anybody, somebody will match them and go right over and give it to them. Somebody else, or let's take a baby. You walk in a room with a little baby, everybody just smiles ear to ear. That child just got here. They just got here from spirit. They're like, I don't know mortgage yet. I don't know.
Let's hope they never do.
Premiums. I don't know repairing my car. They're just like joy. They just got here.
They're just the cutest, and they're getting loved.
And everybody
they bring a bunch of love.
Everybody jumps up. So did they do something to you, or are they just embodying it?
Yes, I love that.
I love it. I don't know. I think it's a little of both. A lot of both. Thank you so much, Julia and Misty. Of course, thank you as always.
Thank you,
thank you. You're just an awesome guest. I feel great right now. I love it when we have a lot of guests and they just make us feel great, and you're one of them. And listeners and watchers, we love you so much, and we always will. Maybe. Just kidding. We love you. And thank you again for always watching and listening to us. You can check us out on our website, www.weareallpsychic.com. And there was one last thing I wanted to say at the end of the podcast. Oh yeah, if you want to ask, I'm trying to get Misty on the Wisdom app, but if you want to ask me any questions, I'm on the Wisdom app. You go to my Instagram. I think it's just Cyree or Lisa, like in my Instagram account. I'll put it in the comments too. And you can ask us questions, and we'll answer them. And it's recorded. It's like a little, it's like a, I don't know. Have you heard of the Wisdom app, Julia? I've been on there for about the Wisdom app. It's kind of like a talking social media. And I got on there pretty early, and they made me what they call a top mentor. And you just earn meter. If I were to really invest a lot of time into this, I could get a lot of Amazon gift cards, but it's just really fun to do. Like, you listen to other people's opinions, and you just, listen to these talks, and it's just really an interesting experience. It has some glitches in it, the actual app, I think, but I love the question answering function. I like going back to a year ago and looking at what I said. It's interesting for me. It's like a diary kind of. So, yes,
I'm really hoping to reach, ultimately I love teaching. I do readings and healings and stuff, and that's great. But ultimately people will say, well, how do I change my space? And I'm like, get into some training. I'd like to reach more people with, maybe it's working with other groups or retreats.
Yes, I would love to do retreats too. We had planned on doing one this fall, but it's just not quite, we haven't really put it together. So I think we're going to wait on that, listeners and watchers. But I'd love doing that. It will. Yeah, I will. But yeah, we've been talking about doing retreats in Alabama, like down at the shore, at the beach. I don't call it the shore here, but the beach. Yeah. Yeah. We'd love to do that too. So, but yes, we will. Oh gosh, we just can't stop talking to our listeners and watchers. Or I can't. Thank you. Love you. Peace out.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.
You are so welcome. Bye.